The Finance Bill of 2018, accompanied by a memorandum with details of the presidential proposals, will be tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. MPs are expected to start debating the 8% VAT levy on petroleum products as proposed by the president after he rejected the finance bill that seeks to shelve the implementation of the 16% VAT tax until 2020. At the time of tabling on Tuesday, Kenyans will be made aware of the contents of the memorandum. On Wednesday, the CS in charge of National Treasury, Henry Rotich, will appear before the Budget Committee to make a presentation on the reasoning behind the President's move on VAT and some of the austerity measures proposed. And on Thursday, Parliament will have a say through a vote.
We are prepared to not accept the memorandum from the President.
We are saying we need to zero rate the levy on fuel. We don't want 8%. It was supposed to be zero.
During his speech on Friday, President Uhuru Kenyatta maintained that he had to strike a balance between short-term pain and long-term gain. But members of parliament are adamant that there are areas the president should not and must not touch.
How can you say you want to remove CDF money? I mean, CDF has been one of the most successful funds in the country. How can you remove money from the fund for affirmative action? It's unconscionable. How are the women reps going to manage the activities on the ground? And yet we have given them responsibilities.
The president has proposed a raft of austerity measures, with the government admitting that it's running on low budget.
These budget cuts ask all of us in government that we tighten our belts.
But the warning does not just end with government officials. Kenyans who do bulk bank transactions will also shoulder the country's ambitious budget. In Uhuru's memorandum lie a proposal to introduce a Robin Hood tax on transactions worth 500,000 shillings and above. If the president gets his way in Parliament, the government will start levying 0.05% on transactions above 500,000 shillings.
Don't fight for your legacy at the expense of Kenyans. That you want to push Agenda 4 when Kenyans are coughing through their nose to pay for Agenda 4. Drop it even if we have 3 agendas. Let's start with healthcare. Forget about housing. Let's start with healthcare.
Let us listen to the voice of the Kenyan people, not the voice of State House or any political party.
For MPs to veto the presidential proposals, 233 legislators must gang up and vote against the memorandum. With NASA leaders Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka supporting the president's latest move, some are questioning whether the handshake could have a degree of influence in favor of the head of state.
Handshake is there, but it is not meant to dissuade us into thinking that the country can engage into clandestine activities that would hence betray the interests of the Kenyan people.
Enoch Sikolia, Citizen TV.